How's it going, guys? I got a pick here in this Week 13 matchup. This matchup we see Eagles versus Bears. Bears are going into Philadelphia and facing them. Their spread is set at 7, as well as the money line for them is at plus 265, and that Eagles money line is set at minus 335. That total is at 44 currently. In this matchup, if we look at it, it is a Friday game, a Black Friday game, you could say. It is at noon, so it's a bit of an awkward time and style of play, especially since seeing that there's not too many Friday games. The Eagles, they are coming off a tough loss since the division game against the Cowboys, but overall they are 4-1 in their past 5, and the Bears are 4-game winning streak. Sorry, and they're 4-1 in their past 5. So both 4-1, but we do see one having more momentum and heat compared to the Eagles. But if we look into the teams that the Bears have actually faced, they beat the Bengals, are 3-8. Seen them beat the Giants 2-10, Vikings 4-7, and the Steelers, which are 6-5. The only one I could give them much credit for is that Steelers win. But we seen him play with Mason Rudolph, getting his first start, in which he did compete and did have a really good game, I believe. Just overall, just couldn't get the job done. Then we look at the other end, who the Eagles have beaten. We do see two similar matchups inside the Vikings, which are 4-7. The Giants are 2-10. But the most recent ones, we see them beat the Packers and Lions, which is a huge win. Packers being 7-3 and Lions being 7-4. Just overall, we know those teams are just kind of the type of win that holds in beating those two teams. The Bears, on the other end, they did get beat up by the next level competition when they go away. 2 out of the 3 losses are in those situations where they're in someone's home against very tough competition, which they're 52. They got outscored 52-21 versus Lions. Then they got outscored 30-16 at Baltimore against the Ravens. So, like I said, when they do face that next level competition inside their backyard, they do see it being a bit of a tougher matchup. The Eagles, they are 3-2 at home against the spread in these last 5 games. Like I said, they went 4-1, but that ATS, they are 3-2. 2 receivers over 350 yards they have in DeVonta Smith and Tony Brown, AJ Brown, and their tight end Gober. So we do see DeVonta Smith have 750 yards and AJ Brown have 560. So like I said, even though they have 3 over 350, 2 of them are over 550. So see something similar on the opposite end in the Bears. They have 3 over 350 as well. Donsey has 650 and DJ Moore has 480. So it's a very similar aspect of the ability to spread the ball, but just overall have their 2-3 main guys that they kind of get that ball to. If we look at the run difference in this matchup for the offense, I think that's where you see the biggest difference. You see Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley combining for just over 1,000 rush yards. They're coming up on just 1,000 rush yards. But then if you look at the opposite end, we see Swift and Monongai for the Bears, 2 running backs combining for over 1,000 yards, as well as Caleb Williams having over 250 rush yards this season. So overall, we do see them more favored in that rush down aspect. So I do lean towards them in that aspect. I do think if they're able to get that ball rolling, get that rock rolling through the ground, it's definitely going to open up those big plays through the air. And I do think that's just overall what Ben Johnson's team style play has overall always been, especially if you look at him with the Lions. So always been a rush heavy offense for sure. We do see a +6 turnover difference for this Eagles team, but the biggest thing that surprises me, we see a +18 differential for this Bears team, which is absolutely insane. We see +24 on this defense and -6 for their offense. So that's definitely the biggest difference maker. They have two defenders with +5 interceptions. So I do think that's something to pay attention to. We'll see if this Bears defense can make Jalen Hurts uncomfortable, but I don't think he really airs it out too crazy much where he puts himself in dangerous position. Overall, he's really good at containing that ball and keeping that ball safe. But I do think in this matchup, if Bears can put pressure and get more sacks, as Jalen Hurts has been sacked 27 times, compared to Caleb Williams being sacked 7 times. If we look at their defense, the numbers they put up for sacks, we've seen Eagles get 19.5 sacks, and their defense for the Bears have 19 sacks. So pretty much overall very similar for their defense and sacks, but we do see the difference in the O-line and Bears being able to overall contain and allow that Caleb Williams to have more time and not really get sacked as much. Seems, 10 sack difference. I do think that the Eagles overall, they are potentially the best team in the league. I think still, if not for sure, one of the best teams in NFC. I do think just because they came off that loss, I do think overall, always in general, when it's a conference game, a division game, and the Cowboys and Eagles are almost always typically 1-1 in the season. So you usually win one, and then they give one as well. So not too surprised and not going to overreact too much on that Eagles lost that last game. Overall, like I said, I do think that they are in a bounce back situation where they're at home. They do need the win just to prove that they're one of the top teams in the NFC. And honestly, I do think this is a game that the Bears get exposed. Like I said, when they face tough competition, they just can't keep it close and can't get the job done. Their overall point differential in this team is actually negative. They're -6 this season for point differential, meaning that they've allowed more points than they've scored overall throughout the whole season. So that's why I do lean towards that Eagles -7. I do think because it's at that flat 7 price, I do think the Eagles can do enough, to overall get that 1 touchdown ahead. I don't see Bears being able to, I do see Bears being able to keep it decently close, but overall, I do think that Eagles team is going to pull away. This Bears team is just a team that's been playing very, very bad competition, and I do think, like I said, they get exposed in this matchup. So if you do like my thoughts and opinions on this matchup, please leave a like, subscribe, and definitely comment what you think on this matchup, but just on these Sunday games, Monday games, even who do you think's going to win the Super Bowl? If you think Chiefs are making the playoffs, Eagles, Bears, who do you think's making the playoffs, who wins the divisions, all that good stuff. So definitely like to respond to you guys and let you guys know my thoughts. So I'll catch you guys later for this Sunday matchup. Peace.